One of the things that I've realized consistently in the work that I've been a part of is the degree to which the answers are already there, and that the best training is that which helps people to see that in themselves and in others. I think this program, with a focus on individual teams from grounded locations, the process of training that they've gone through has been really grounded in helping these teams see their own situation more clearly.
The 4 teams we found, we wanted, in looking, first of all, we wanted teams. We didn't want 4 people from a region to come together and learn. We wanted people who were already working together and committed to doing the work together over the arc of this program and hopefully beyond.
I work a lot with people and groups that are coming from a variety of backgrounds, but the vast majority in the peace building field tend to come from more of an intellectual background, more of a programmatic background, more of secular, not exclusively. Most of my work is with churches, but the frameworks that drive the field have, as much as anything, often been those that come out of sort of secular perspective. We've had a process here where the very notion of interfaith cooperation invites exploration of those spaces that have embedded in them ritual understanding of being true to faith and seeking of a presence greater than ourselves.
A peacemaker must be a thinker, a creative person, and a friend to God. A peacemaker always sacrifices himself for the sake of others. A peacemaker must always be prepared to dress in area of cold or hot weather, and must get prepared with boots, gum boots, heavy boots, light shoes, and sandals. Thank you.
The team from northern Uganda, the Acholi Religious Leaders Peace Initiative, they've been in the middle of a civil war for 21 years. They've often felt isolated, invisible. It was such a privilege, really, to the program, I think, to be able to include people who are doing such heroic work, talking about bringing people out of, in a sense, the cauldron or crucible they're working in, to be refreshed, renewed, to have a chance to get new perspectives on their work, new perspectives on what they might try, and to be able to go back in refreshed. And it seems so appropriate with this group.
The global learning platform that we have here is just as much an important part of the dimensions of the learning that's enabled as the individual teams being very grounded in their local communities. And I think it's the combination of being very grounded in the most local setting, but with the opportunity to learn globally.
The team in the Philippines, in Metro Manila, is committed to working with the challenges of people fleeing Mindanao and settling often in poverty and conflict in Metro Manila, creating a Christian-Muslim tension. There, again, clearly a team of committed people who were taking great risks to grow in the work they were doing.
One of the other things that I have observed that makes peace building really successful has nothing to do with even the kind of project that people are doing so much or the tools that they're using, but the qualities of character that individual people bring to it. It seems to me that in situations where conflicts can transform, where there's a moment of opening, it's often because of some expression of extraordinary character on the part of an individual or some individuals involved. And the things that I see being most important would be things like humility, or generosity, or courage, or honesty, and creativity. And if that's the reality of what really brings change, then how do you help create situations and settings that help develop those qualities?
One has been the incorporation of a much more intentional space around the creative act. It's, like silence, being together, sitting quietly, all of us writing some reflections about what's been happening in a journal, or completing a day or starting a day where we're simply quiet together, going on walks together. These are things that are not easily comprehended as techniques because they aren't about a technique. They're about a way of being in and with ourselves and with others. If you have this love for what is humble, and try very simply. I learn it with pain that I am grateful for. Patience is everything.
There is a kind of imagination that you can do together that you simply can't do alone. And it seems to me that that's been one of the both explicit and implicit goals of this program, and that we've succeeded also in imagining together in ways that none of us, either individually or in teams in our own locations, could have done on our own. And I think that's a special part of the substance of the way that we've been working.
From the beginning of URI, it's been a vision and an invitation to dream, to use our imagination, and then to help make real what we've seen, the ways we've imagined it might become real.
That ability to mobilize it, I think, is at the root of the imagination that's able to move beyond the kinds of things that have typically been happening and to create a presence where things like patience and, you know, expressions of love when you would least expect it can actually happen in settings where there isn't much of that going on.
The team from southern India, interestingly, Christian and Hindu, but the challenge they're working on is an intra-Christian challenge. They live in a beautiful part of India that could be torn apart, literally, if this conflict that has bubbled along for 100 years suddenly has the heat turned up under it and boils over. It could destroy a beautiful community.
Last time we talked a bit about the idea of the turn. You know, you have to get a movement somehow that people start to turn and put their face back in the direction of the people that they most fear. And I think of all the things we do, the music actually touches our deeper inner emotion.
Let's see if we can do it. It goes like this.
The writing of music reflected the actual situations that we were in, so that music writing emerged up out of the experiences.
You know the lyrics?
To a group of people who really can't sing very well.
We're singing someday, we're singing someday.
That's the first time in my life I've been in a choir, was yesterday in Christchurch in Gulu, Uganda.
We're singing someday.
And the team from Ethiopia, one of the things that they decided early on was critically important for them was to reach down and help teach and empower young people.
I just understand that we all are from the same source.
We may have different religion, but we have common values.
When you bring a learning orientation, when you approach something as much as a learner as you're approaching it as a teacher, that is an important part of what creates a space that then allows other people to learn. And I think it speaks to the individual integrity that somebody brings to whatever their work is. But I think it also recognizes that there is value already there, wherever there is. And that one of our goals is to see that more clearly and to help others more see it. And you can't do that unless you're really willing to learn yourself.
Reminds me of a saying my mother had on a placard somewhere in her house that said simply, "Be patient with me, God's not finished with me."
I think one of the things that drew me to this program is that it seemed like it would be the perfect kind of a program to help support the development and strengthening of those kind of qualities of character that I think in the end can be what most sustainably transforms societies. The journey back.
Well, if you could let Herm know he's going to have to lead the singing without me. Good morning.
I'll let him know, so.
I'll be right there as quickly as I can.
It may so blow him away that he won't know what to do.
That's possible.